Hey everybody, welcome to On the Homefront. John Murphy here. Very happy to be sharing some time with you. We got a very busy show again this week. In a few minutes, we're going to start with the Arts at Eastern. They have a play that's already open called Zoomers. We're in between two runs of this new play. We're also going to talk about the Winter Blues Festival coming up on March 8th. It's going to benefit the Third Thursday Street Festival. And we're going to have Chris Beaudry here talking about the program. The Kingpins are going to be there that night. It's going to be a great night to help benefit our year-long celebration, or at least our seasonal celebration on Third Thursdays. So we'll do that in a few minutes with Chris. And then we're going to talk with Alfreda. She is keeping Aretha Franklin alive. She's on a tour right now across the U.S. celebrating Aretha's music. So we're going to have a phone call, and we're going to play Chain of Fools a little bit later, because with everything going on today, that song comes to mind. So anyway, what we're going to do right now is get back to the arts community at Eastern. It's been very busy again. I just saw this play last week. It's called Zoomers. It's about life in New York City. It's great. And I have two faculty members here at Eastern to talk about the performance and the arts program. Sitting next to me is Kristen Morgan. Very happy to have Kristen back in the house again now. She's the Associate Professor of Design, Technology, and Performance Media. And she's also chair of the Communication, Film, and Theater Department. So it's very nice to have you back in the house, Kristen.
Thanks for having me, John.
And also back again is David Pellegrini. He's a professor of theater and the coordinator of the first year program at Eastern, and he's the director of the play. Also, Kristen worked on the set design with others. So a nice job, bravo.
Thank you.
And I guess it was an original play from 24, something new that captured you, and you wanted to bring it here right away.
Yeah.
So talk about life in New York.
Sure.
Or anywhere.
Well, I read a review of the play. It was actually a play that was produced by who wrote the play, Matthew Gazda.
Right.
He has a small theater company in Brooklyn, and there was a review in the Times, which was fairly unusual for an off-Broadway show.
Indeed.
And the review was sort of mixed. And then I contacted him because I thought it might be interesting because it seemed to feature a young cast. So he sent me the play. I read it. I wasn't sure. So then I went down to see the show in Brooklyn, and I was convinced once I saw the show that I really wanted to do it. It's very difficult to find a play that features a number of young performers, so that was one of the appeals. We have been doing a lot of different types of shows.
Yes.
And we have to kind of figure out what do the students need at any particular time. And I really felt it was time to do back to basics, realistic acting, realistic performing.
Yeah.
And the play was conducive to that because it was really all about character. The play is there's really no plot per se.
Right.
But it's really all about characterization. And
I think you mentioned the Chekhovian feel to it, more the inner exchanges.
Exactly,
right.
Exactly. So that was what was appealing to me. Plus, the characters are in their early 20s, and the play does seem to be saying something about that particular generation. They're all obsessed, for example, with Super Mario Smash. I think is that how you say
Smash
it?
Brothers,
The Smash Brothers, the video game, which I knew nothing about.
Their thumbs are very well developed.
Now he's addicted.
Now, well, I wouldn't say addicted, but I play.
A fan.
And it's about people, young people, really trying to connect in a very disconnected world. It's set in Brooklyn,
right?
So that's a whole nother aspect of it, the sort of hipster generation or hipster vibe.
Yeah.
So I've been having a really great time with it, because the students really sank their teeth into the roles, and I think some of the most authentic acting we've seen in a while at Eastern, frankly.
Yeah, they had time to really dig down and take a few minutes and not be rushed.
Right.
Just like at home. That's how you'd be at home.
Yeah.
And the whole New York thing. I'm from the Bronx, so
I'm from the Bronx. I didn't know that.
There you go.
We're from
Born in the
Pelham
Bronx.
Parkway.
Okay. So, set design.
Yeah.
Okay, you have the environment, but how did you decide in that space what to create as their living space, their psychological space?
Well, the set, when I look at it now, it reminds me of like a TV sitcom set, kind of the way that it's set up.
Yeah, I felt that. Yeah, that's true.
It feels like a sitcom set.
Yes.
it was, we knew the location, but there's a wide variety of types of apartments in Bushwick.
Yeah.
So we picked something that was kind of like a converted loft style. And just wanted to make the space really cozy and also like reflect the characters. So one of the things that we did was ask the cast members to bring in some of their own decor from home.
Oh, nice.
So like there's a Rocky Horror poster. There's like a little Kirby like plushie. There's a Post
Malone.
little like
there's a cool
Funko
radio
Pop.
also. There's a cool radio.
Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff in there that are like little Easter eggs that are like things that the cast brought in or that we found in like prop storage. So it was really fun, like dressing everything and making it look realistic.
We even have a working kitchen sink.
Yeah,
if you can
and a
imagine
working
that.
sink and a fridge.
My goodness,
Yeah,
that's right. And they used it.
yeah.
By the way, in case you've joined us, we're talking about Zoomers at Eastern. It's March 6th to the 8th at 7:30, and then 4 o'clock on March 9th to close out the run. And something that I had thought was very interesting is how you had some alternating casting going on. So it's not the same crew all the way. They change. Can you talk about that and
Yeah.
how that was for rehearsing it and how it was for the crew when they had to deal with a little extra tango there?
Yeah, so there are 8 people, 8 cast members,
Right.
8 characters in the show, and 2 of the actors are in both casts. So that was a rotating cast of 6 other actors. And I did that for a number of reasons. One, because we have a number of graduating seniors, especially females, who needed some good, juicy roles.
They got him.
Yeah, and then what was really interesting was that I wasn't sure who the scene partners were actually going to be. So when we started the rehearsal process, we didn't even, maybe we had 5 weeks. We didn't even really touch the text until about week 3. We were doing what you might call, like Meisner techniques, which is sort of a variation on method acting, kind of a branch of it, which
Like working out a scene kind of thing?
Yeah, well, it relies on spontaneity.
Okay.
It relies on authenticity, genuineness in the moment. One of like Sanford Meisner's, most famous students was Diane Keaton. So if you could imagine, like Annie Hall, that kind of performance, if you see what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I wasn't sure who were going to be the ultimate scene partners, actually, until about, I would say, 3 weeks ago. And then it started to make sense.
It
Who
kind
was
of
really
revealed
connecting.
itself to you?
It really did.
Yeah,
It really did. And so that was one of the interesting things. It caused a little bit more work for me to have 2 sets of rehearsals all the time.
Indeed.
But it was a challenge, and I enjoyed that. And I think they enjoyed it, too. So, yeah.
Well, it was well done, and I encourage you, if you have time, check it out. We'll give out the dates in a few minutes. But there's 2 more things I want to mention quickly while we have Kristen here with David. This is a project that I've talked to Kristen in the early days when they were planning this story about Connecticut history. It's called Stepping into the Shade, and there's going to be a screening at Eastern next Wednesday, March 12th, open to the public at 7 o'clock. It's a great documentary with history, and it's a lot of work. So congratulations on the finished
Thank you.
product. I know you've already been showing it around, and you brought it home. So what are your hopes for next week at 7 o'clock at Eastern?
Well, this is a new cut. It's a feature-length cut. So originally we developed 6 individual programs to be part of a series. And some of the feedback that we got to be able to enter it into film festivals and things like that, we needed a feature-length cut. So Brian and I and June Archer have been working on editing that down. We finally have something good. So even if you've seen it already at the Bushnell earlier this year, or at the Westport Library.
Westport, right.
Yeah, last year. This will be something new. It's a brand new cut. So we're hoping to get a new audience, maybe audience who's seen one of the screenings before, to come in and give us some feedback about, what they liked, what they'd like to see more of, what they didn't understand. It's free, open to the public, so we hope to have a good audience for that.
So when you were going to submit it, did you submit both forms, or was it all just the feature, and that's going to be the final submission, or will you also include the earlier version too? Because they're kind of different creations.
They're different creations.
Yeah, yeah.
So the idea is that Connecticut Public and Television in particular had asked for a feature-length version because they prefer that to a series.
Oh, wonderful.
So the idea was that we submit that. Hopefully we get it on air with Connecticut Public Television, and then we would have the 6 episodes available for rent, like on Amazon or another streaming service.
Sure.
So that if folks want to learn more and get into more depth, then they can go and watch the series there.
That'd be really great to get it on Connecticut Public, too. The Connecticut River Valley, all the tobacco farming, the folks that came, they may have been students working in New York, but they came up in the summertime.
HBCU students.
Right.
Martin Luther King was here.
Olatunji.
Yeah, yes.
I got a chance to interview him up at UConn and had a whole hour with him on stage, and he talked about sandwiches, bologna sandwiches, the torture of the sandwiches every day.
Yeah.
And he laughed hard.
Good.
But it was a good life story.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So once again, that's going to be March 12th at 7 o'clock at the Student Center Theater in the heart of campus. We have a couple minutes. One last thing. In April, we're going to have another faculty member here with us. Her name is Alicia Bright Holland. I've had her before. She has an original piece coming up. It's going to be in April. And it's called The Prison That Made America, Women's House of Detention, 1932-1974. It's an original piece, I guess, she's done with Reginald Flood, who's also at Eastern, and some students. Can you give us a preview of what they're going to be telling in terms of a story? Is it, like a historical piece? Is it the people at the prison relationship to the community?
A little bit of all of that, actually. There's I was just working on it today, and she was in the room rehearsing. We were laying out the floor for the rehearsal hall.
Oh, great.
So it's based on a book by Hugh Ryan called The Women's House of Detention, A Queer History of, I don't remember the subtitle for it, but it's based on the book. So there's events that happen within the prison. There's also events that happen outside of that particular prison, which was in Greenwich Village for 32 through 74.
Right.
So a lot of history, some real historic figures you're going to see in the show, and some that you'll recognize and some that are new to you. So yeah, it's a really interesting project. Students are helping to develop it right now in an experimental theater class, and I think it's going to be really good.
Yeah.
It's been a handful of years since the new center opened, and it's revolutionized the level of production, the capability, the performances. It's been an inspiration to see how it's really blossomed in each area of technology, too. It's nice to see that. So if you want to get involved, the website, if you just go to easternct.showare, SHOWARE, showr.com/Zoomers, and you'll find tickets for this show again. It's going to be March 6th to the 8th at 7:30 and March 9th at 4 p.m. So I wish you good luck on the remaining performances, and we'll look forward to having you back next time.
Thanks, John.
Take care of yourselves.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll take a short break and come right back. We're going to stay in Willimantic, and we're going to talk about the Third Thursday Street Fest and a fundraiser coming up this weekend. So stay with us. Alrighty, we're back in the house here. You might be catching us live right now on WILI in Willimantic on Wednesdays between 5 and 6. We're also on Fridays in Norwich, New London on WICH from 11 to 12. We're on WECS as well as Public Access Channel 192 at Spectrum Public Access. And YouTube. So if you want to get involved, if you have a story to share, if you want to come into studio or just send us a notice, use the email and we'll plan ahead. It's very easy. The email is john@humanartsmedia.com, and you're more than welcome to join us. Right now, I'm very happy to reintroduce Chris Beaudry to the house. I've had him on several times in the last few years, talking about live music, especially jazz, because Chris is a musician. He's also a manager and a music entrepreneur, and there's a new club opening in town very soon, and we'll talk about that. But really, we're here today to talk about Third Thursday and helping to financially raise funds at a special concert this March 8th.
That's right, yeah.
So talk about that Blues Fest. What's going to happen? Give us a preview. And thanks for all the work you're doing to help us raise money for this festival.
Oh, geez, thanks for all the work you do, firstly. And Human Arts Media, oh, my God, we're reaching the globe already. That list keeps getting longer and longer for all the syndication, John.
Yeah.
So congratulations
Thank
on
you.
that.
Yeah, it's getting out there. You bet.
And, happy to be here to promote And if anybody's listening, I just want to start with we are nearly sold out. We have a cap of 200 tickets, and we have about 30 left. So if anybody's intending on attending the Winter Blues Fest this Saturday, March 8th from 7 to 10 p.m. at the Wyndham French Club, which is 116 Club Road, get your ticket now. They are selling them at the Willimantic Food Co-op. And I think they're at about 70 over there, and then we've sold about 100 online so far. So we have about 30 left.
And Arita bought 2 yesterday at the co-op.
Oh, she did. Yeah, excellent. Yeah, good.
Yeah.
So I'm glad she secured hers because they're going fast. Yeah, and we just gave away 2 to the Connecticut Blues Society, so that means 28 is left actually. So, yeah.
So talk about who's going to be making noise.
Yeah, well, hopefully.
I mean, I've seen the Kingpins. They're awesome. I saw them. They did a gig at Click. Maybe a year or 2 ago, the Kingpins were there once. Awesome.
Yeah. So the Kingpins, obviously,
Yep.
We're going to open up the night, and crowd favorite. They've been around for decades. Ben Chavnik has been the leader at the helm there. In fact, the third Thursday Street Fest, Gene tells the story, Gene Dismay, that when they had the initial meetings about developing something for Willimantic back in the day at the old Victorian Lady, which is now Eminence Inc.
That's right.
Ben came into the meeting and said, you know what, we should have live music at various points throughout Main Street and different stages, and hence Gene credits Ben with the kind of the structural idea of the original Street Fest back in 2001, I believe they were starting.
Sounds about right.
Right around there.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, because this is the 22nd season of the Street Fest, so we are raising money. All proceeds from the Winter Blues Fest go to this season of the Street Fest, which is beginning in May is the first one, May through September, 5 fests, and so I think everybody's turning out in droves because the last Winter Blues Fest was 2019, right before the pandemic. So
things crashed. A lot of things crashed.
Yeah.
But he's using music and love to turn it into money and cash. And this festival, 6 to 9, third Thursday, from I guess May to September, and 4 or 5 stages. And I think you're involved in some of the music planning this year. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So if someone's watching us or listening, are you planning now for the gigs, for who's going to do what night? Because you're going to have 4 or 5 festivals with 4 or 5 stages. You got a lot of acts there. It's a lot of fun. It's crazy to manage, I can imagine.
It is.
Right?
I haven't started. Well, I have my radar, my antenna are always up. When it comes to music for the Street Fest, of course. But we haven't officially started plugging bands in yet. But only because I've been so inundated with planning and executing the Winter Blues Fest here. So as soon as that's over, we're going to get to planning the fests themselves. So, and the money we raise obviously goes to paying bands. We pay all of the musicians and artists and street performers that attend all the festivals. So it's really, it's a cyclical community, giving unto itself, and the rewards are Willimantic's third Thursday Street Fest.
Yeah, it's a nice kind of a circuit. So all those buckets, when you drop those dollars in here and there, it helps to make everything move along.
And I should mention, in addition to the music, the Kingpins, we have Ed Peabody and the Big Blue Thing. So Ed is fantastic. In fact, he was referred to us by Peter Rust, who has a blues show on WWH. That's University of Hartford Radio. And I know he's doing a Mardi Gras special today, actually. But he has an agency called Blue Highway, and we inquired with him because his band, the Mighty Soul Drivers, usually performed the Winter Blues. But he was busy that day and referred us to Ed Peabody, who's bringing a 7-piece horn band. I'm out saxophoned by 100%. There's two saxophones in his band.
Wow.
So it's going to be a show, man. Yeah,
wow.
They're great.
Spit valves will be working overtime. Let me tell you, let's get biological for a second here, man. So that's March 8th now, from 7 to 10. And we'll talk more about the Street Fest. And the reason why I mention it now is we'll let other musicians know that this would be the window if you have a plan to try to participate. It's spring and be a good time to reach out. How could people reach you about this, by the way? What's the best way for somebody to follow up on this?
For bands to inquire about performing?
Or anything we're going to talk about.
Yeah, so if they go to WillimanticStreetFest.com, there is a vendor registration on the website, and it goes for both vendors that bring food or bring an attraction, kids activity, stuff like that, but also musicians. So if you do have a band or you're a solo act or a duo act, We hire all different iterations of music. So go to willimanticstreetfest.com and fill out the vendor registration. And it's pretty self-explanatory. You'll file basically, what genre you are, how big your band is, your web presence, and all that stuff, and we'll have a look. So it goes right to forwarded to my email. So
it's a great opportunity, and they're great events. So the other reason why we have, Chris here is more of a longer-term thing, because I've talked to Chris many times over the years at different venues that are trying to recover from COVID and keep live music alive, original music in some way. Now, right here, a few feet away from our studio is an art studio, Spiral Art Studio, that I've had Daniela on here a few times. She's very active in town as an art studio. They do a lot of work there with education and crafting. But they have another space there that they've converted to bring live music back to downtown Willie. And I want you to talk about that. It's called the River Room.
That's right, yeah.
And they're opening, I believe, at the end of April after spring blows in here. So can you give us the vision and paint us a picture, and what led you think that you could try it again here? Other people have tried, but it was a different time economically too.
Sure, yeah.
So what gives you optimism now in 2024?
Well, firstly, I want to say that our website is up. So River Room Willie, as in Willimantic, WILLI.com, River Room Willie. And we have our first 9 performances.
Wow.
So we're not advertising this as a music-exclusive venue. This is going to be a multi-use performing arts venue. So we have everything from music, of course, to there's going to be dance and dance classes. In fact,
that's right. Osvaldo
Toronto, yeah.
Osvaldo, the upstairs meets the downstairs with Osvaldo.
He's got a great company called Grasshopper Arts.
Yep.
And he'll teach salsa and bachata and all kinds of dances, Hispanic, Latin American dances, wherever he can. And we're trying to give him like a central home, beautiful home, in fact, in the River Room. So he'll be teaching during the week classes. He's on vacation right now in Colombia, I believe. But he'll be back in May when he'll start his classes. And we're even going to do, Danny had the idea to do live music dance socials. So we'll have some bands coming. In fact, we have a Grammy Award-winning band that the first dance social will take place during their open rehearsal. So I'll detail that a little bit more. But in addition to the music and the dance, we're going to do written and spoken word, authors, book releases, documentary screenings, live art. So, John, if I may, I might just run down the first.
Run it down now, please.
So the first 2 shows are up for sale. In fact, our grand opening show is up for sale. That's the Gray Sargent Trio. And Gray, a lot of people I'm sure have seen him perform without even knowing it. He was Tony Bennett's guitarist for 24 years. So he's bringing his trio from around the Boston area. The bass player, Marshall Wood, was with Tony Bennett for 11 years. So these guys have a lot of stories, I'm sure. In fact, I'm going to make him tell some stories about being on the road with Tony Bennett during the performance. So that is April 25th. So our tickets are up for sale, riverroomwillie.com. That's the first show. The following week, Saturday, May 3rd, this is an interesting one because we're doing a dual presentation. So a muralist of note from the Willimantic area, he got his start, Ben Keller, is going to be doing a live painting in front of the audience while the Evan Wood and the Blueprint is the name of the band perform on the stage. So if you click on the link at riverroomwillie.com for Ben Keller and Evan Wood and the Blueprint.
He's amazing.
Yeah, they're fantastic. You can actually watch a video. I did a side-by-side of Ben painting a gorgeous, it was a female figure with floral, like all kinds of flowers in her hair, and then Evan Wood performing recently at Parkville Sounds in Hartford.
He has the gift of working in large spaces.
Large format. Yeah, he did the garage with the 3 prominent female figures.
Like a Salvador Dali kind of thing.
Yeah.
He's wonderful.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then midweek, the following, so that's May 3rd, Saturday, May 3rd. On Monday, May 5th, Wally Lamb is coming to release his next book title. And the book comes out on May 6th, and he's with us on May 5th at the River Room. And how appropriate is this? The title of his book is The River is Waiting. So
there you go.
The River is Waiting release at the River Room. We're super excited to welcome him. I had to jump through some hoops to get him, but I got him. I reached out to his agent at Simon & Schuster. And then
that's creativity.
Yeah, man.
He's working it.
I don't take no very, very easily. So anyway, Paris Monster is coming. We set a date. It says TBD on the website, but it's actually Saturday, May 10th. Paris Monster is a super cool band. Matt, you're going to love these guys, I'm telling you. So the drummer, Josh Dion, actually, when I was talking with him, he said his father, Tom, performed with Lefty Foster back in the day.
Oh, excellent.
Tom Dion.
That's a Shaboo. Wonderful.
Yeah, so Josh went to E.O. Smith High School. He now resides in Brooklyn, New York, and they're a duo, but they're like 5 instruments. So literally they're playing 5 instruments on stage. Josh plays drums with I think the left side of his body, or the left side, because he's playing the hi-hat and the drums. And in his right hand, he's playing keyboard, and he sings. And he's a freak. Like, go on YouTube and search Paris Monster is the name of the band.
There you go.
And they have I don't know how to say it exactly, but Meinl Cymbals is a cymbal brand that he endorses, and they did some really high-level professional video of Paris Monster performing.
I'm always being surprised all the time.
Yeah,
so much out
check
there.
these guys out.
Okay.
And then I'm going to speed through this a little bit here.
Please.
The Cafe Trio, which is a local group, Jan Youngden, Lou Chady, Mark and Beverly Davis.
Yes.
They're playing on Saturday, May 17th. Think like French Riviera. They have accordion, 2 acoustic guitars, and upright acoustic bass. They play world. They play acoustic. It's going to be a great night to have a drink. By the way, our bar is going to be run by Trigo Pizza.
Which is next door.
That's next door. This is the first announcement. I went on Wayne Norman, but I didn't say that yet. But I'm thrilled to be working with Garnet and Patrick at Trigo, award-winning Trigo, best restaurant in Windham County according to the 2025 Crazy Awards, the Connecticut Restaurant Association. So we're thrilled. They're going to be doing our bar. So we're going to have wine, bottled local beer, and canned cocktails, and they're going to do batch cocktails special for the River Room as well. So the Friday, May 23rd, this I'm really excited. Dr. Ronald Mallett, theoretical physicist specializing in time travel. So this guy...
He's up at UConn for years.
He's the real deal. He taught at UConn for 38 years.
That's right.
Professor emeritus now. But he has so much literature. Another guy that you should YouTube, because he's been on CNN. He's been on Ancient Aliens on the History Channel. He has a book out called... The Time Traveler, One Man's Journey. There's a subtitle to it, but it's basically his story in a nutshell. His father died when he was 10 years old, and he discovered H.G. Wells' The Time Machine, and started to get the idea, what if I could go back in time and tell my father that he was going to have a massive heart attack at age 30 or 32, however old he was. So he just started to actually study the math and the science and the physics behind it. So we're going to present his documentary, How to Build a Time Machine. And then we're going to have a book signing, and everybody who buys a ticket is going to get a book. Same thing with Wally Lamb. Everybody who buys a ticket will get a copy of Wally's book, signed copy.
All right.
June Bizantz, Saturday, May 31st, fantastic vocalist, visual artist. And then this next one, Friday and Saturday, June 13th and 14th, 2025 Grammy Award-winning Best Latin Jazz Album, Zakai Curtis and his quintet will be for 2 nights with us. So, I mean, this is like the top of the game. And they're going to do, on Saturday, they're going to do an open rehearsal where Oswaldo and his dancers will be able to come in, and for about an hour, without anybody in the audience, they'll be able to dance while the band rehearses. So it'll be an added bonus to the people that sign up for the classes with Oswaldo.
Sure.
And finally, our last show, actually we have 2, one that's not announced, but this last show that's on the website, riverroomwillie.com, Saturday, June 21st, which is International Make Music Day, or World Make Music Day, I believe. The Solstice, Patty Tuitt and her band will be there. And then finally, I just confirmed him today. Everybody loves him in the area. Duke Robillard will be with us on Saturday, June 7th, 8 o'clock. So we got a great lineup coming. Yeah. And then, of course, we're going to book into the summer. We're going to showcase local stuff. Our ribbon cutting, April 18th, is going to be 11 a.m. That whole weekend, we're going to have open houses. We're going to have live music. We're going to have food. We're going to have festivities. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to do open mics there. That's why, Matt, you got to listen to the Wayne Norman interview, because I kind of hinted at what I'm thinking for you there. So there's a lot of information, John.
Yeah, man, it's a tsunami of joy.
Yes.
Right here, a few feet away, Willimantic. Let's hope this place takes off. People have been looking for a long time. Sometimes when you build it, they will come, and we're going to see what happens, man. Chris, thank you. Of course, Daniela, for first starting that space. You found it. Now you made another space, so it's a nice combination of art and community. So
Absolutely.
I wish you well. Congratulations, man.
Thank you, John. Thank you.
And we'll be talking about this more as it gets closer. We'll run it down each week. So now we're going to speak of the music. We're going to shift gears. Aretha Franklin touched us all in some way. There's a concert coming up at the Luce Center for the Arts. It's up at the Woodstock Academy on March 8th at 7 o'clock. So if you're not going to be here for raising funds for the Third Thursday Street Fest, if you're up in that area there, Woodstock, there's a show there celebrating Aretha Franklin. We're going to have a phone call with Alfreda, who has brought a band on the road. She studied Aretha. She's toured the world. She's played with musicians. And we're going to have fun on the phone in just a few minutes. So we'll set the stage right now and play a couple of minutes of Aretha to set the tone. This is a classic one for these days, Chain of Fools.
Chain, chain, chain.
I am always happy to play Aretha Franklin on the radio. Chain of Fools comes to mind these days. That's a tune that really hits deep. I've been listening to her since I was a teenager. And on the phone right now with us is Alfreda. She's performing on March 8th at the Luce Center for the Arts. And I'm very happy to have Eric Davidson here in the house. He's from the Luce Center. Welcome back to the studio, Eric. It's good to have you back.
Thanks for having me.
And also, Alfreda, welcome aboard. Good to have you on the radio in Connecticut.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
So let me ask you, as you started on your path, what was it that drew you to Aretha in particular when there are so many awesome women out there that have made contributions? What rose her so high that was where you were going to dedicate your energy?
That's a wonderful question. When I was a child, I grew up in a very rural part of North Carolina. And we only had an AM radio station.
Yeah.
And my parents were both academics, and the only kind of music they would allow in our house at the time was gospel and classical. And that is all that I knew. And the one gospel person we listened to every day was Aretha Franklin. So I grew up with Aretha Franklin, just only Aretha. My mother was a huge Aretha Franklin fan. And I knew all of her songs my whole entire life. And when she left us, when she passed away, that gave me an opportunity to pay tribute to my favorite singer. whom I've known my whole life, and that's how I got to singing Aretha's music.
Now, the band that we put together for the show has 3 female backup singers, some nice harmonies, a 4-piece rhythm section, and 3-piece horns. So you've got that whole sound from the stacks, from the Watt stacks, kind of a sound going on. And I wondered, Eric, if you could talk about folks that still don't know how incredible the acoustics are in the loose center. Can you talk about how the center runs throughout the year? It's part of the school, but you have special events that people can join.
Yeah. So when Woodstock Academy purchased what used to be Hyde School's campus back in 2017,
right,
we had this vision of bringing arts back to the area. That venue was built by the state of Connecticut back in '68 to bring arts to an area that had to drive an hour to Providence or to Hartford or even Boston,
right,
to access some of these shows. So we were like, let's bring it back. Let's give back to the community, and we've been really honored to have such a great amount of people in our community that have taken advantage of the arts out there. So the lighting system, the sound system, rigging, seats, all that are top notch. We spent a lot of time with a community partner, Rational Acoustics, which is based out of Woodstock, Connecticut.
Right.
They're globally known when it comes to sound and sound reinforcement specifically. So we reached out to them and asked, what do we want to do, and put in, top of the line system so that every single seat in the venue sounds the exact same.
And you've been doing this now, I think I guess the last 3 or 4 years I've followed you more recently. What have you done up to now, and how has it been in terms of the people finding out about the center and realizing this is kind of tucked away in the quiet corner?
It is, yeah. It's been funny because the space, we finished renovations on the building 2 days before we closed for COVID.
Good timing.
Great timing, but we've been ramping up. Word's getting out. I think when people look at Luce Center for the Arts, and they think that this place is at a high school, they don't expect the level of professionalism that comes out of that space.
Right.
But the number of people that come in and say to us, wow, I did not expect this at all. There's free parking that's right there.
That's right.
We keep our fees as low as possible. Our bar, beer, wine, drinks, that type of stuff, all cheap.
So you're not part of Live Nation, are you?
We are not a
$15 beers.
We are not part of other venues. We'll put it that way.
Try 914. We lost Alfreda on the phone, and I'm not sure if it's 941 or 914.
She called me from a different phone number, so I'm calling that number back.
Okay.
I'm going to call the number you gave me.
Okay. Yes.
We the most important thing for us has been making art accessible. So cheap ticket prices for high quality shows. We're not there to bankrupt people on things.
Yeah. So what is your sense overall of people in general, even other venues after COVID? It's a couple of years behind us, fortunately, but some people are still hesitant. They're still starting to come out.
Yeah,
what sense do you feel out there?
It's interesting because I was just talking with a colleague the other day. Yeah. It was 5 years ago today. That was like we're basically at the week when we shut down.
I forgot about it. It was like midterms at Eastern when everything shut down.
Yeah, okay, So we're at that 5-year mark. We're very fortunate that the people that are coming out are having a great time with us. We keep things very safe. We have a fantastic cleaning company that comes and works with us. They are disinfecting surfaces all the time. It is definitely safe, I would say, to come out and hang out with us.
That's okay. I think we got disconnected.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna
okay, I think our technology wizard Matthew, that you don't get to see him, but without Matthew, we don't have a show. And I think he just put some lettuce for the rabbits, and we have our phone connection. But Alfreda, are you with us?
Hi. Oh. Yes, you're not going to believe I'm calling you from the middle of the Caribbean Sea. I am a headliner on Princess Cruises, and I got a show in about 45 minutes, and we are at sea. Today is a day at sea. So that's why I accidentally dropped you guys. Sorry about that. Glad to be back.
Well, that's all right. That's all right. Is the water calm tonight? Is it pretty smooth out there?
It is very smooth. It had an excellent last couple of days. We expect smooth sailing back to the United States. We're headed back now, and that's where I'll get on a plane and head right to the Luce Center for Performing Arts. So, okay, let's continue. Thank you for waiting.
Yes, indeed. Now, I got some of the bio information, and, along with your career sharing the music of Aretha, you've brought her along, and you've performed with Cher and Celine Dion and Sir Elton John, Whitney, and others. When you get on the stage at that level, how does it feel, and how are you connecting your music with others when you're at a much higher level than many people might get to?
Well, that is a wonderful question. My whole adult life, my whole career has been with big name artists, and that is all I know. And that's the running my tour and my shows are exactly the way Cher did hers and Elton John. So that is just second nature to me. So everything that I do is on a scale of their level. Because that's all I know. And that's why I have such a big band with the amazing background vocalists and all the horn section. And we got a lot of media, a lot of wonderful movies and videos and stuff that I show that would go on in a normal show at Madison Square Garden or, Wembley.
Right.
Because that's all I know.
Well, that's going to be a good stage show to bring to the Luce with their, with their technical facilities. It should be a very nice match. And I wondered, since I see from your bio that you've traveled quite a bit, abroad in Europe and elsewhere. When you share Aretha, what's it like for you to see people in other parts of the world very close to her that come out that really connect through you to the music that they've learned to love?
I love that, and I've chosen material or songs that people will connect with, songs that everyone knows and can sing along with, and they are celebrating along with me. I'm a big fan of Aretha, so it is a wonderful feeling for them to join in. I would say 50% of my show is audience participation, where everyone gets to be a part of the show. It is a celebration that we all are taking part in. It's not just about me or Aretha, it's about all of us, and it is a wonderful, wonderful experience.
And could you talk a little bit about how you put it together in the earlier time and how it was to start it out when you were trying to get it on the road, and what it's like now and what the differences are for you in 2025?
Well, I sang Aretha Franklin's music my whole career when I was not on tour with the artists. I sang in nightclubs, and so knowing all of that music was just something I already knew. And then by her passing, and the tribute act has really become a huge deal in latter years. So that, to me, was just easy because I already knew her music. Her voice is my vocal stylings are in her wheelhouse. She's in my wheelhouse. So it was easy. So I did some concerts at City Winery and a couple of other notable arenas and venues, and we put it together. And it just has really taken off. I've got sold-out shows. We did one in St. Thomas yesterday, and I've got one again tonight. And it really has taken off. People love it, and they leave refreshed. I've brought Aretha's history back to life, if you will. And they say it's a spectacle that they weren't ready. They didn't think they were going to have it. They weren't expecting it. And when they left, they were over the top, and they were very, very happy. A lot of tears, laughter, singing, dancing, everything is in that show.
All right, in case you've joined us here, we're on the phone right now with Alfreda. She's going to be at the Luce Center for the Arts on March 8th at 7 o'clock. They're on Route 169 in Woodstock, not that far from here. And, something you mentioned touched me because I've talked to, other artists, and the crossover from gospel to secular music was controversial, like you said, in the church. Sam Cooke had the challenge with the Soul Stirrers. And I just wondered how it was to take that gospel tradition, some of the truth of that music, into a pop world, to bring the message over in a way that was more accessible. How was it to go from both worlds back and forth?
You're talking about me personally or Aretha?
Well, I guess both for this case. That's a good point. But, I'm trying to get an understanding of your story, but it's all about Aretha, too, I understand.
Well, I started out in the church, as did Aretha. And she actually opened the door for all of us to be able to do just as you said. Her voice was still gospel. She had gospel overtones all the way into her pop music, which made us gospel singers able to cross over. She opened a door for us to do it, and it was easy because music, the genres of music grew over the years. So in the beginning, it was probably weird, but then as the years passed and more people did it, the genres of music kind of grew and allowed it to happen. And I think it was an easy thing to do.
And how about the arrangements now? Because you have the core of the songs that you're, working with. There's a whole genre that she has so many songs. It must be fun to pick which ones you do each year and how you put it together. But who helps you with the arranging of the charts and getting the sound just right?
Well, the arrangements are my own ideas. And I have several people who specialize in different things. If it's a gospel song, like Spirit in the Dark, that kind of thing, there's a person that specializes in gospel music, and I give that arrangement, and we talk it over, and they make it happen. Then the rock part, we do the weight. That was Dwayne Allman and Aretha. So I've got a rock people that do that. A lot of my friends are European now. I spend a lot of time in Europe. And they all just, I tell them what I want, and they make it happen. It's just that easy.
So maybe one last thing I wanted to ask you is how well you're using technology today to stay connected to people in between performances. If you're going abroad, people may want to stay with you all year and follow up on what's going, and you post your videos. I've seen some of them that Eric sent me. I see the website is alfredagerald.com. So what would be there if somebody visited your website?
At alfredagerald.com, all of my tour stuff is there. Also, I also do things in other venues other than just touring. And then I have a huge house music fan base in Europe, and that is also on my website. Do a lot of concerts in clubs and at festivals in Europe that is actually house music. So
house
everything
is huge.
that I do is on my website.
Great. Well, I wish you well.
And on Google.
Well, I wish you very much. I'm glad you shared some time from the high seas. I wish you smooth sailing for the rest of the ride, Alfreda. And thank you. Thank you very much for keeping Aretha alive in people's hearts so people can enjoy the music live. It's the best way, and I wish you well. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me.
Take care now. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye.
So, Eric, that's another sweet night for you up in the Woodstock area again. That's going to be at 7 o'clock on March 8th, and it's theloos.org. Is that the website, right?
It is.
LOOS.
Yeah, and tickets available at the door. You can give us a call, 860-963-6789. You can text us. We can work with you on tickets. We like to make it easy for people. So go online, get some tickets, see a great show, get some free parking, and explore Woodstock, Connecticut.
Well, I wish you a great night, and I look forward to our next visit. I wish you well throughout the year. It's a great space, and I hope it keeps going because we need more places for live music, and I'm glad you're in that part of the state.
Thank you. Yeah. Thanks.
Okay. All righty. So that's it for this week, folks. Again, if you want to join us, if you have news to share, John@humanartsmedia.com is the email, and we'll see you next time.